I have returneth out from under the pile of schoolwork that I had to bury myself under.
Boing boing.
Hey guys, it's Zuri and I'm back with another video. So today I want to begin documenting my process making another webtoon. Yay! It's kind of funny because around this time last year I had started making my first webtoon for a short story contest. I also documented all of that. You might be subscribed to me because of those videos. So it's interesting that this summer I'm going to be focusing on making another webtoon. Completely different story, completely different characters, completely different world, and it'll be really fun. So yeah, this is the first video of me documenting my process making this new webtoon. And for this, I really want to go slow because the last time, because it was for a short story contest, I really didn't take my time. I didn't take as much time as I know I should have. So this time around, I'm really going to take my time, and my plan is to really focus on the story aspect of things, you know, the characters and the plot, while I also work on character designs. Because last time I didn't really work on character designs, it just kind of, everything was really rushed. So while I did touch on my process in the last webtoon videos I did, these videos documenting my process on this webtoon will be a lot more in depth because I do plan to really take my time and just go with the flow and just be really deliberate about everything that I do for this webtoon. So this video is just going to talk about where I'm at right now in terms of crafting the story and working out all the details. So something that I realized while I was just thinking about this story was that it's a lot like Gravity Falls, at least the basic premise, and I actually panicked when I realized that. I'm like, am I just going to make a ripoff version of Gravity Falls? So for those of you who don't know, Gravity Falls is an animated TV show about these twins that go to visit their uncle during the summer, and they discover that the small town he lives in is very weird and there's a lot of supernatural activities going on. My webtoon also happens to be about siblings, not twins, that go to visit a relative during the summer and discover that where that relative lives, there's a lot of supernatural activities going on there. Now, when I came up with this idea, I did not realize how similar it was to Gravity Falls at all. Like, I did not go into this being like, let's make a Gravity Falls ripoff. Absolutely not. But one night I was just contemplating the story and I was like, hold a second. Oh no. So after my panic subsided, I realized that other than the basic premise, my story will be completely different. A lot of stories follow kind of the same format or draw from the same basic idea. For example, the starting point for a lot of stories is either when a character goes to visit a place and discovers that it is not what they expected it to be, like with Gravity Falls and coincidentally my webcomic. 2, they discover that where they're currently living is not what they expected it to be. Like they discover a secret room in their house, or they discover that their neighbor is a serial killer. Or 3, they get transported to a completely different dimension. There are so many stories like that. And I think that it's okay for stories to have the basic premise or to draw inspiration from other stories, but when it comes down to the really specific details, that's where things have to be different. Otherwise, you're just copying and pasting, and that's not good. I am not supporting plagiarism at all. Trust me, my characters will not have an uncle named Stan. I promise you, I promise you. So for me, I am beginning to kind of flesh out the basic idea that I have, and I'm not going to go into details about who my characters are or what's going on with them just because I don't want to spoil anything, and also you don't really want to give away too much of your story for various reasons before you release the story. So something that is helping me figure out who my characters are and what the story is literally answering the questions who, what, when, where, why, and how. So, who are the characters? What happens to the characters? When does this happen? Where does this happen? Why is this happening? And how is this happening? This is like something that people use to help them. And there are lots of other story plotting devices that anyone can use, but this is what's really helping me right now. And this can apply to both the overall story and specific scenes. And I read somewhere that it's really helpful that each scene has a beginning, middle, and ending. Because when it comes to the overall story, we always hear about the story having a beginning, middle, and ending. But if each scene has a beginning, middle, and ending, it can also feel more complete and more grounded in the overall story. So yeah, I started to work on this yesterday, and since then I have a few more ideas, but this is where I'm at now, just answering those basic questions. I don't know if I said it already, but I will be working on character designs while I'm working on the story itself, because personally I find that I am drawn to just I know I'll feel like if I'm not drawing right away that I'm wasting time, so I'm going to be working on character designs as well, so it doesn't feel like I'm wasting time. This will be fun. Stay tuned for more webtoon updates and also other kinds of videos, because I want to make other types of videos all kind of related to storytelling and stuff like that. I don't know, I just really love storytelling. And yeah, so stay tuned. I already said that, but whatever. Like this video if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe so you can see more of my beautiful face. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye!